Morning guys, Scott from SE Landscaping here again. Today we've got a small play area that we cut in and the access is really poor, so we're using a dedicated mulching mower made by Stihl. It's the only dedicated mulching mower Stihl have without putting a mulch plug in your normal mowers, and it is the Stihl RM4RTP, which is this model here. Powered by a Kohler engine, petrol machine, automatic choke. So once you pull to start, the choke knocks itself off. 5 adjustments for height. We tend to operate it on 3 because it's not something that gets cut regularly. It's a fortnightly cut. Front wheel drive, and it's got plenty rubber protection on the front if you guys decide to hit it off something. So, and this is the job in hand, fortnightly grass cut to this area with a really small gate which we can't get anything else through, so stay tuned. So guys, as you saw in the background, there's a sports pitch there that we also maintain. This is a community building which we maintain on behalf of the local parish council. So the sports pitch and these play areas here are cut fortnightly. As I explained earlier, this one's been shut for a while, so it's took a couple of visits to get it down and tidy, but we gradually dropping the height so that it should look tidy all the time. As well as that, we trim the edges, we kill the play area you can see just at the bottom here. It's a bark mulch play area, and then obviously with the gravel strips as in the car park, we kill those as well, sort of monthly, 6 weekly. With council cuts going on and with a recession about to hit, we're quite lucky with the parishes that we've got long-term contracts, so they can't be altered at the moment. A lot of our contracts are 3 to 5 years, so I am predicting that there's going to be a lot of cuts with local authorities, mainly with probably the larger county councils. They'll knock the grass cutting and things back to try and save money over the coming years. But we're in a good position here at the moment, at least with contracts and job security for 5 years. So that's quite good for us. So yeah, the mulching mower, as you can see, it does a swift job. It runs at a decent pace to cut the grass rather than leaving a mess. And it's a very robust machine. We've had a number of them, but they do last. We've got 3 on the fleet at the moment. The older ones we've just got shot of because we like to renew gear regular. If you renew gear while you've got the money, then when times are bad, hopefully what we find is your equipment would last. If you had 1 or 2 bad seasons and all your gear's 1 or 2 seasons old or brand new, then you would be in a position where that kit could last you through the bad times, and you wouldn't have to invest any more money in new kit and just concentrate on bringing some money in. Just moving on to tenders for anybody currently tendering for tenders, and moving on from the private sector into commercial work. With grass cutting, people sometimes ask, especially on certain Facebook sites, I've noticed people ask how much you charge for cutting grass, how much you charge for this bit of grass. The problem is you can't charge the same amount of money per square metre, because this area here, you're cutting with a small mower. It's costing very, very little to run this machine. You're filling the tank up every hour with probably 1.5 litres of fuel. Whereas if you're on a commercial site where you've got a football pitch or a larger area where you can put a bigger machine on, obviously that's could be running on diesel or petrol. That's going to be using more fuel. The machine costs more money. So it's costing you more to run and maintain. So you've got to actually look at the individual job. There's no set amount of money where you can say, right, we'll cut everything for 50 pence a square metre or £3 a square metre. It doesn't work like that. I know companies, larger companies, they tend not to go out on site and they they look at maps, and I know a certain company in our area in the northeast of England, a well-known large company, has actually took on a contract 2 years ago, and they're losing money because it's been priced badly from 200 miles away, and they haven't spent a day coming out on site and having a look at the areas and realising they are difficult. So, like I say, even the larger companies do make mistakes when it comes to pricing. How I do it, I go out to every job, I look at every job, I work out how long it will take to do every job, from weeding a flower bed to cutting a hedge, and I sit down, I go over the tender, and then I put it to one side and I go over it all again and make sure that price is right and they're both coming out somewhere similar, because you will always miss something off it. And touch wood, with 15 years of tendering, I very rarely sort of get it wrong. You do from time to time, little bits that you miss off, but most of the time we do quite well. So hope that's helped for anybody thinking of pushing into the commercial side of things. And if you have any questions about anything like that, just drop a message below and I shall be happy to give you the answers. An unfinished job. This was another site that was shut for COVID, so you can see it's been quite long. The last couple of visits have dropped it down from 5 down to 3, and obviously it's very dry at the moment, but decent quality of cut. Just trim round next. As I say, that's the machine. It only has one speed, but to be honest, it's a speed that's fast enough for mulching. You don't want to be going too fast, otherwise it'll leave Mohicans everywhere. So yeah, great machine. Hope one or two of you think they are good and will invest in one. They're not a bad price. They range at about £600 or £700. So for a dedicated mulching mower, it's a good price, and it's a strong machine. We've had these since they were Viking, and this is probably our 4th or 5th, and they do last. You do get a good few seasons out of them. So thanks for watching, guys. See you on the next one.